the Junkie Vegan. So today I thought it might be kind of neat to make a classic McDonald's fish fillet, right? Our take on it. Now, I am going to do my own spin on the fish fillet. I'm not going to use it exactly the way they package it. And I'm going to show you my take on how to turn this into a classic fish fillet. So I just need 2 fillets, and you can make it your own, right? You don't have to do Gardein. You can do some other brand, any brand that you like. I happen to have an affinity toward the Gardein brand for the fish fillets. Let me rinse off my knife here. It's something little, looks like aluminum foil or something. We don't want that in our food. All right, so in essence, what I'm gonna do is basically remove, and it's probably not a bad idea to defrost these a little. And I could stick them in my microwave and just defrost them. Fish fillet right at home. And you can also create your own vegan Big Mac. I might do that one day on the channel. I've done that plenty of times. And you can see, because I microwaved it, that breading comes right off of the fish patty. And I don't want that breading. Alright, so I have my patties, my Gardein fish fillets with the breading removed. I'm going to use a product called Meat Egg. It's an egg substitute. And I'm just going to put a little meat egg in this little dish here. In essence, you can measure it out if you're baking and you need it to be a little bit more precise. You also can use a flax egg, but this is tasteless. You can't tell that you use it. You can use just egg too, but again, this is tasteless. You can't see it, you can't taste it. In essence, the way you prepare an egg is you just take 1 tablespoon of the neat egg mix and you just mix it with 2 tablespoons of water. But I don't really need a egg for real. All I'm doing is just kind of gluing my patty together in essence. So I'm just gonna put a splash of water in my neat egg here. And I'm gonna grab a spoon. And I'm just gonna mix that neat egg up. And my neat egg, you can tell it's a little thicker than what I want. See how it's all jelly-like? You don't want it like that. But in essence, you can use cornstarch. And again, this is tasteless. Don't look the best, but it don't taste like anything. Once I open my egg replacement, I usually just stick it in the refrigerator. Alright, you're barely gonna really get any on it, but it just holds your fillet together. So what I do is I just dip like one side of my fillet. It's kind of like right in the middle. You can take your spoon and do that as well. It's just gonna serve like a glue. And in essence, what I'm doing is I'm creating more like a patty, okay? And I could wrap this and stick this in the refrigerator as well, and that'll solidify it and glue the 2 pieces together fully, but it's not that serious today. So I'm not gonna do that step. But you could pre-prep like all your patties and in essence, create your own little patty with the 2 fillets and stick them in the fridge. And that way, they'll stay together and easy for you to coat with your your fish fry and your breadcrumbs. So this is just breadcrumbs here. And I like to mix my breadcrumbs with a little Zatarain's fish fry. If you didn't know, this is basically just cornmeal with some spices, some garlic, some onion, and some lemon juice. So there's nothing in here that is non-vegan. Again, here at the Junkie Vegan, we like to use convenience foods that you might have as a transitioning vegan in your cupboard already. And that way, you will not have to go out and buy a whole bunch of new ingredients. If you just want to cut back on your meat options, it'll be easier for you to do, and you'll be using products you already know and love. So I also add my own little seasoning. I got some garlic and herb seasoning here. You can use whatever brand you like. This happens just to be the Target brand. I use Mrs. Dash sometimes. I try to use non-salted, and anybody who is a vegan, you know you gotta kind of go a little extra heavy on your seasonings, right? Because we're not really eating meat, so you really want that fish patty to be seasoned on the patty, and also your breading and so forth to be seasoned. I also added a little garlic, onion powder. And you see I am breading both my filet and my breading mixture so that it is seasoned throughout. And I could flip this as well, but I usually don't. I just season it on one side, and I make sure that my breading is nice and seasoned. Now, the only thing that I do kind of like go light on is this seasoning salt, right? Because I could add classic salt and pepper, or I could use Lawry's or something, any type of seasoning blend that I like. But anything that has salt in it, I'm going to be mindful of that because I don't want anything too salty, right? The other thing that I like to add to this that I don't currently have is some dill. I usually will add a little dill to my mixture. And then I have a seasoning also that will help with that fish flavor. Even though Gardein is a fish product, I think, you know, having a little bit of extra fish flavor is not a bad idea. So I have a couple of things that I'm going to add to this mixture that's going to help with that fish flavor. Now I just saw it and I'm not crazy. So hold on 1 second. Eat and shake. It's sesame and sea vegetable seasoning. Some of you may know, heard of nori fukaki. In essence, this is similar to nori fukaki. It has kind of a seaweed texture, taste. So it'll give it a little more of that fish flavor. And another thing that I like to do, I'm gonna grab some of that too, is add some nori sheets. So I'm gonna lay a piece of seaweed on the actual fake fish, and then I'm going to add some of these, just a couple of seaweed flakes in my batter. It's giving me a little bit of a problem. It's fine. I'll have plenty of fish flavor in there. I could adhere it with the egg, but I don't want too much of that fake egg product on my sink. I'm going to lay this right back on this little plate here. And another thing you could do is you could put that in the refrigerator. That'll help it set up. But again, I'm impatient, and so I'm not going to do that. And we're going to pray that it doesn't all fall apart on us. I don't think it. Some vegetable oil in this pan. I'm just going to turn this pan kind of on a medium. So I'm putting it between 4 and 6. And I'm going to let my oil heat up. in the pan. And then obviously I'm gonna fry my filet up. So we're gonna allow this oil to heat up to temperature. And while we're waiting on the oil, we're gonna go ahead and make our tartar sauce. Cause what's a fish fillet with no tartar sauce, right? You gotta have a tartar sauce. All right, follow my heart. Some people like Hellmann's. Some people like just mayo. There's lots of vegan mayo brands on the market. You use whichever one you like. This is your show. This is your party, right? This is your junkie vegan experience. So make it your own. So just a little vegan mayo in my dish here. So just take some sweet relish, whatever brand you like. And you just want to give that, I like my tartar sauce a little bit more pickled up. So I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of that relish. I'm also going to add just a dab of some minced garlic in there. Just a dab, because I like that garlicky kind of taste. And I'm going to clean up some of these green onions and chop those up in there. Put a little dash of Lawry's in that vegan mayo, and I'm going to mix all of this up together. And if it's a little thin, because this one's a little thin, but the cool thing about when it's thin is you can stick it in the fridge for just a little bit and it'll thicken right up for you. Dave Killer buns. You can use whatever kind of bun you like, honey. There's plenty of vegan buns on the market. All you gotta do is look at those ingredients. But I like Dave Killer bread. I'm gonna put a little bit of Violent Life cheese on there. Again, you can use whatever brand of cheese you like. I like a few of them, but we're just gonna put that on our top bun for now. But it's gonna go on top of our Filet-O-Fish patty. And this will just kind of help me to flip it. And you can see I did break it, but it's okay, it works. Filet sandwich was done, and you can see on the edge there it's nice and crisp. Let me grab my tartar sauce so I can top it up. You can see my sauce did thicken up quite a bit, but it's still kind of thin, but that's okay. We just really want that tartar sauce flavor. And there is our, gotta flip that over, there is our fish fillet. We'll see if this is similar to that classic McDonald's fish fillet. Big bite. Definitely get that fish flavor. What do you think, production?
Really good.
Very good.
Definitely tastes the fish flavor.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Very good. And production, have you ever had vegan fish before?
No. Actually, my first time.
Would you eat that again?
Really good.